You've read the headlines, you've seen the TV news coverage, school shootings, workplace shootings. Dr. Steve Webb was a teacher, then a school administrator, then police officer, and his passion is protecting us from violence. He does so through what he describes as threat training. Dr. Webb is the author of Education in a Violent World, a practical guide to keeping our kids safe. It is great to have you back with us. You went from educator to cop to nationally recognized keynote speaker on threat training. Quickly tell us that path.
Well, the path is simple. I looked at, as an educator, being in a vulnerable situation. We're in a very rural area, and so I became a police officer so I could better connect with kids and better protect our children in case something does happen.
And we don't want to think about that happening. And I've watched your videos, and it really struck me that you acknowledge that schools have plans in place. The educators, they're trained for this. They know what to do in a violent situation. They may even recognize something being amiss, but they're not mentally ready. Talk about that.
Absolutely. Schools across the nation are so entrenched on the run, hide, fight, and all of the responses to what's going on in our nation. Instead of looking at those prevention policies and looking at children in that gap between whenever they start having those mental issues and disconnecting from reality and tragedy.
You're known for your safe training, so can you explain what you do, what do you teach?
Sure. Well, the run, hide, fight and all of these responses are important, but I think it's more important to prevent these the violence. Not only this mass shooting that really everybody hears about, but child suicides, which is increasing these days, and we need to figure out what is causing this. And I plan on doing that by providing training on depression, by providing training on the signs of when a child is having those mental breakdowns.
Yeah, and COVID. You say, that's complicated things. More kids are struggling with mental health, and you're seeing that.
Absolutely. And with this pandemic, obviously the suicide rates are up. The mental health is challenging in this type of situation. But the hopelessness that some children are having, and the fact that we don't know how to help them in this with schools, because we're trying to navigate this as well, has really caused that perfect storm of how do we make sure that we reach those kids and their social emotional side rather than just working on teaching and learning.
And you really want to reach those kids, and you can help organizations. So you go out and speak with groups of people. If somebody wanted to invite you to a school, a church, a business, any kind of group, how do they do that?
Yeah, you can get a hold of me at swebb@safesecuresystems.org. Or you can go to my website at drstevewebb.com, drstevewebb.com, or simply call me. Call me on my toll-free number, 1-877-453-SAFE, and we'll set something up, and hopefully we can work together to make sure people are mentally ready as well as physical ready.
And your book, Amazon?
Absolutely.
Everything's on Amazon,
You can
right?
find it on any major bookstore, and I talk a lot about the Synosia effect, and truly, a lot of the things that were in that book came to fruition in this Oxford high school shooting. So please, let's work together and work on this prevention and understanding the signs of when violence is potentially going to occur.
Thank you so much, Dr. Webb.
Thank you for having
Again, great
me
to have
again.
you back with us.